Okay, so we'll Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Padavai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya. So we read the 17th verse. We were talking about that how Krishna is the supreme father. He's the father. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Pran. Krishna is the supreme Lord. Krishna is the supreme father. He is our real friend, real protector, real everything. In every aspect, he's there for us. Pita, so let's see this. Pitaham Asya Jagata is the father of the whole verse. Mata Dhata Pitamaha. He is the Mata, the mother, Dhata, the maintainer, and Pitamaha, the grandsire. It's used for generally Bhishma. But ultimately, who is the Pitamaha? Who is the Pitama of the Pitama? It's the Supreme Lord. Then Vedyam Pavitra Omkara. All the scriptures, which is Rik, Sam, Yajur, Evacha, all the four Vedas, the Pavitra Omkara, the syllable Om, all the verses, so many chapters, so many verses in the Vedic scripture starts with Om. Ultimately, he is that. So in short, all these aspects are addressing to that Supreme Lord only. These verses will cover real quick. So yes, 18th verse. Yes, Shital Mataji.
Anita Mataji already read this verse.
Shall I read this?
Anita Mataji read this verse? Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. And Athar read the translation, right? So we're supposed to discuss that one. Okay. Thanks for... See, I'm getting old. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi. Gati means destination. Often we life, do we start our car without knowing the destination? Right? We don't start the car without, okay, we know before we begin the car or the bike, whatever, or even walking, we know what's in our mind, where we want to go. But if we ask people, what's the destination of life? I don't know, maybe to get a job, maybe to get a home, maybe to get a family, maybe to build wealth. And after that, what? I don't know, maybe. So 99% of people are living their lives not knowing what's the destination. So Krishna is saying, I'm the Gati. I am the destination. So one should always be very, very cognizant of this fact that what is our real goal of life with the Supreme Lord. Bharta, sustainer. The master, Prabhu, and Sakshi is the witness. Krishna is always watching us, no matter where we are, even we are in the dark closet, in a dark room, he's still watching us. Because through his different energies, I'll share a small story in this regard. One time a guru told the disciples, oh dear disciples, I want you to eat this apple. He gave everyone an apple. And he said, whenever you are at a place, wherever you're at a place where no one is watching you, you eat this apple. Okay. So everyone, based on their intelligence, someone just behind the ashram of the guru, oh, there are no kids around, there's no guru is not around, he's in his room, so I can eat it. Okay, they ate it. Some felt, well, but the birds are watching me here. There are some animals, some deers and the ashram, they're watching me. I think I'm not alone. So they went further deeper, where there were no birds, there were no other perceptible living beings. So then they ate there. But one person, one great student, it took 2-3 days for him. And he was moving, he went to the caves, he went to the mountains, he went near the rivers, he went near the ocean. But the apple he came back with the apple. And Guru asked him, my dear child, all of 99% of the kids, they ate their apple, but you still have, what happened? Are you not hungry or what? So he said that, Gurudev, wherever I went, I see the hand of the Supreme Lord. Somewhere he is present through these directions actually are the witness. These sun and moon are the witness, the eyes of the Lord. So in short, we are never alone. So one should never feel that one is alone, right? It can have multiple positive aspects. Because when we think we are alone, we end up doing wrong things. No one is watching me, I can watch this, right? No one is watching me, I can do this, right? But we have to always be cognizant that Guru and Krishna are always watching. One who's cognizant of this fact, one who's aware, will never indulge in wrong things. Because how can I do a wrong thing if Krishna is watching me all the time, if Guru is watching me all the time, then how can I indulge in wrong thing? If they're physically, let's say, present at our home, Srila Prabhupada is present at our home, will we do wrong things, right? We will not do, right? At least, do you agree? We'll be very, very careful of our conduct, isn't it? We'll be very careful and do everything to please him and not to do anything which will not please him, right? But actually, Prabhupada is always present at our home. All we need is to change our perception. The deities are present, and through the directions and through the different, members of the family, they're always there. All we need to do is to have that consciousness that Krishna is always the witness of each and every aspect. Then he is also the abode. So the Guru was very happy. Just to conclude that story, the Guru was very happy, and actually that's the truth. So he is the Sakshi, he is the Nivasa or the abode. He is the Sharanam, the shelter. And he is the Suhrit. Hrit means heart, Su means good. He has a good heart. Suridam Sarva Bhutanam, Yatva Mam Shantimuchati. He is the dearmost friend. Ame bina bandhu ar kya chetumar. Who could be a better friend than me? Krishna says. Tomare loinu havatar. I have come especially for you, Lord Chaitanya says. I have especially descended for you because I am your dear friend. I am your Mata Pita. We think my school friend is my dear friend. My office friend is my dear friend. But with waves of time, most friendship in this world has a selfish agenda behind it. Friends mingle and pockets jingle, right? This proverb. When that selfish agenda is gone, then we are left out. What to speak of friends, even sometimes of family members. They may resort to killing each other. And these are not, some fairy tale. This is in the news every day. The son killed the mother killed the son. I like that. The newspapers are full of all this thing. These are real stories happening in India and US and Europe, everywhere. Why? Because of selfish agendas. But Krishna is our so dear of a friend that no matter what we do, no matter wherever we are, no matter in whatever species we are, he will never leave us, right? The best of the family members won't accompany us. If next life I am born in a dog body, will my wife, will my parents, will my well-wishers come with me? No. Only Krishna is always there. He's always seated next to us and never leaves us. All we do is we forget that. So let's read a little bit of a purport here. It's a very nice purport Prabhupada is giving. Who would like to read the first few lines here? Anyone? Yes, Rashmi Mataji, please. Yeah. Yeah, please unmute, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Hare Krishna devotees. Purport, Gati means the destination where we want to go. But the ultimate goal is Krishna, although people do not know it. One who does not know Krishna is misled. And his so-called progressive march is either partial or hallucinatory. There are many who make as their destination different demigods, and by rigid performance of the strict respective methods, they reach different planets known as Gandharloka, Surya Loka, Indra Loka, Mahar Loka, etc. But all such lokas or planets, being creations of Krishna, are simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna. Such planets, being manifestations of Krishna's energy, are also Krishna. But actually, they serve only as a step forward for realization of Krishna.
Thank
To
you.
approach,
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, we'll
that's it.
just read sections of the purport in the interest of time. So, very, very important point here that one has to know that the real destination is the Supreme Lord. That means back home, back to God. Otherwise, the journey, the progressive march, which this human life is meant for, will be incomplete or partial, or one may have a completely hallucinatory idea of what life is and what the goal is, which is basically sense gratification. Oh, I want to go to Indraloka, Chandraloka, but that's not the real goal of life. So we will discuss that in the following verses. And very nice point here. There is no one can be a better friend than the Supreme Lord. No one can be a better well-wisher. So Krishna is our real friend. And the one who develops relationship with the Supreme Lord will never be cheated, will never be tricked, will never, that relationship will never go in vain. All the other relationships may go in vain. They certainly, the best of the relationships also can only help us till the body is there, right? When you have a best friend, best, husband, wife in the world, all they can do at the most, they can accompany you till the cremation ground. It may sound a little heavy, but that's what the scriptures say. But Krishna is always going to accompany us. So we should invest in that relationship. Also, I'm not saying to ignore our family or friends, etc., but we should not ignore the real relationship. Okay, let's see the next verse. Next 19. Yes, Vedi, you want to read this?
Hare Krishna. Tapami aham varsam nigranami utsrijami cha amritam cheva mrityuscha sad asaj hamarjana. Translation. O Arjun, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Again, the different aspects of the Vishvarupa Upasana. And a very nice line Prabhupada mentioned in the purport here. Those who are advanced, in the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, one therefore makes no distinction. Between what? Between matter and spirit. There is no distinction between matter and spirit, because everything is the energy of the Lord. Now, but that does not mean it is same but different also, right? We just read. It is same but different. Like Krishna is present everywhere. But the point is, do I have that consciousness to see the Supreme Lord in death or birth, in health or disease, in wealth or poverty, in profit or loss? Advanced devotees, they are not bewildered. But we are trying to become advanced devotees. We are not yet there. So we have to follow the guidelines of the Guru Sadhu Shastra and worship in the Supreme Lord as devotees like to worship in the two-handed Shamasundar form. That doesn't mean we pick a stone from the street and start worshiping. Oh, everything is God, right? That's what is called pantheism. Oh, mountain is God. Oh, rivers are also God. Trees are also God. And maybe my shoe is also God. My dog is also God, right? Is it correct? What do you say? For the Vishvarupa Upasaka, it is very, very neophyte understanding. I would not say it's completely incorrect. but it is very, very elementary understanding. It's incomplete understanding. Same as like Brahman, because Krishna is present everywhere as Brahman, as the energy, the effulgence, and then the Paramatma in the heart of everyone. But devotees worship in the Bhagavana realization. And they are cognizant of the fact that yes, he is present, but I'm not so advanced to see him. When we pick our, let's say, when we sit in our car, do we sit, what do we feel? Is God? When we put our shoe, do we feel that, it's God? When we put our socks, do we feel it's God? Not yet there, right? Not yet there. But pure devotee, sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. They cannot see. Sthavar jangam na dekhi taro murti. Sthavar or jangam, those who are stationary or those who are moving. Sarvatra hoy Ishtadev Spurti. Sarvatra, they are seeing everywhere the Ishtadev, Supreme Lord. So we have to do as per the guidance of the scriptures. So this was the Vishwarupa Upasana till text 19. Now let's see about the Prithakvena, those who worship in different aspects, namely the demigods. So let's see this text. Yes, Avani, want to read?
Hare Krishna. Dvaividyama Dvaividyamam soma paputa papa yagnir istra svargatim parityante te punam asadya surendra lokam asanti devyan divideva bhogan. Translation: those who study the Vedas and drink the som juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planets of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. Haribol.
Okay. We'll read 21 also and discuss these together. Yes, Vinita, Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna. Te tvam bhuktva svargalokam vishlam shine punye martya lokam vishanti evam trai dharmam anuprapna gata gatam kama kama labhante. Hare Krishna. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So these two texts talk about those who worship the Supreme Lord in Prithakvena. Those who study the Vedas, as we have discussed, Vedas have 99% of the Vedas is full of karma kanda. That means fruitive work. Do this to get this. You do this yajna to get that fruit. Therefore, it's called karma kanda or fruitive activities. Therefore, as the worshipper of the Supreme Lord, and then there are Upanishads, some sections of the Vedas may tell, hey, you can eat meat and this day and this. But we have to understand for whom is it mentioned. The author of Vedas, after writing the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Puranas, was not happy himself, Vedvyasji. And then Narad Muni came and said, you have done all hodgepodge. Somewhere you're saying this is supreme, somewhere you're saying that's supreme. Therefore, you are not happy. Now you write about the unalloyed, unparalleled glories of the Supreme Lord. Ya Uttama Shloka Gunanuvadat. Then he was happy writing about Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, for us as aspiring Vaishnavas, Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam are the main. Sarvo Upanishado Gavo Dogda Gopala Nandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gita Mritam Pibat. All the Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas are compared to a cow. The essence of cow is the milk. The milk is churned by the milkman, who is Krishna. And the calf is Arjuna, through whose medium this milk or nectar of the Vedas, the nectar of the scripture is coming to us. But many people, 99% of the people, they are interested in drinking the heavenly pleasures, going to Nandakanan gardens, drinking the soma juice, getting the position of Indra, or getting the wealth like equivalent to that, getting the beauty, etc. Not knowing what will happen. So one has to do a lot of struggles, lot of punya, pious activities. They may go there, right? But what will happen next? Okay, next it is mentioned. Shina punya mrityu loka vishanti. When the quota of pious credits will be over, then back to grind, back to mrityu loka. So therefore, that's not the real or eternal destination. They return back to this mortal world. They return back. They can be born as a ant again. Even Indra was born as a pig one time. So the real point is that they will not be. They will achieve only repeated birth and death. Back to the cycle of material. They will not be able to transcend the real problems of life, that is birth, old age, disease, death. And in multiple verses, Lord has said that the intelligent people, they do not engage in such because their goal is Krishna. Right? Any comments or thoughts, questions here so far? The example given is, okay, one can, let's say, save money for a vacation. One works very hard. One does some saving and goes to Hawaii or Everest or Switzerland, whatever places one may want to go. But what will happen? Now one is using one's punya or pious credits to go for that vacation. Gradually the savings will go down, right? After a week or 2 weeks, etc., because one is trying to do so-called material enjoyment. And after the savings are zero, Shina Punya, back to grind. Mrityu Loka Vishanti, back to office, right? Back to work. So we'll read the next verse now. Okay. Yes, 22. Anyone? Yes, somebody.
Hare Krishna. Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesam nityabhyuktanam yogashemam vahamyaham. Translation.
Yeah, please read the translation.
But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Hare Krishna, Babaji, back to you.
Wow. This is a very, very important verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Very, very important for those who like and memorize this verse. Some of you may already know. Now there is a but here. The verse starts with but. That means in the previous two verses, Krishna was mentioning about the demigod worshippers. They worship demigods because the Vedas, a lot of things are mentioned. And then they go to demigod planets. But Ananyas Chintayanto Ma. Ananya, that means na anya, having no other object. Exclusive. Chintayanto Mam, those who are concentrating here or rendering exclusive devotion. Pariupasate, that worship. Unto those people, I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. Very, very important. Yogashim Mahamyam, actually in India, LIC took this from this Bhagavad Gita. Yogashim Mahamyam, their slogan. But can LIC give real protection? No, the real LIC is the Supreme Lord. He's the real insurance. When we invest in our relationship with the Supreme Lord, He will carry what we lack and He'll preserve what we have. So many examples are there. How Krishna protects His devotees, how Krishna always protects. Name bhaktya pranashyati, konteya pratijanehi, name bhakta pranashyati. And my devotee will never perish. In the assembly of the when Mother Draupadi attempt was made to disrobe her, she called out, Pratigya tava Govinda name bhakta pratishyati iti samsmritya pranam sandharyamiham. Krishna came as the big sari to protect Mata Draupadi. Krishna comes in different forms. I'll share the story of Gita Panda. Very, very nice story. Some of you may know, but it is very relevant in this context. So he was a nice devotee, chanting, reading, hearing Bhagavad Gita, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but somehow he was very poor. His family didn't have even like the basic needs to eat food. And somehow he developed a doubt on this verse when he read, Krishna says, Ananyaschintam antoma ye jana pari upasat tesham nitya abhiyuktanam yogashemam bham. I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. That means he provides what a devotee lacks. Well, my family is struggling, he crossed out this. He took a red pen and crossed out that section that this does not make sense. So, and he went out to do his duties and take bath and all, because he was really upset with the Lord. And then, as he was out, the wife was there at home. Suddenly, after some time, there was a knock on the door. And two very brilliant personalities were at the door. And they were carrying huge loads of foods and grains and ration and spices and everything. And the lady, the Brahman Patni, said, "Who are you? You look so beautiful." One was like a fresh spring cloud, whitish complexion, and one was the dark monsoon cloud like complexion. One was wearing the pitambara, one was wearing the Nila Vastra or Nilambara. So the two boys, very, very beautiful, very, very handsome, carrying the flute in one hand and the other carrying the hala in one hand. Right? Now everyone knows who are the two boys. Yes, I think most of you got it, but the wife was still confused. And she said, okay. Then they said that we are the disciples of your husband, or you are our Guru Mata, and he's our Guru. And he has given us this. So we brought it to you. So she was amazed, like, he never told me that he has such like stocks of good ration. I don't know how he got, because no one gives him any charity. And Krishna really tests sometimes the greatness of a devotee. So they could not speak because their tongue was, there were marks on their tongue. Their tongue was cut. But they gave, and then after some time they left. And the wife made an opulent feast for the family, and then the husband returned back. He saw like all these rations and stocks of grains and fruits and herbs and milk and everything. Where did you get this? And then she explained that how these two wonderful personalities, who were none other than Krishna Balaram, came wearing the dark monsoon cloud like complexion, one the bluish spring cloud like complexion, the whitish. And then the husband realized, and he went back to that verse to study Bhagavad Gita, and the marks were gone, right? Because Krishna shows that how he always protects his devotee, how he preserves what they have, and his devotee will never perish. His devotee, Krishna, will provide whatever they may lack. But some people may think, then why a devotee dies? Why a devotee, so we have to understand Krishna's protection from different aspects. And there's an acronym which I heard in one of the classes I'm going to share. The protection of the Lord in the word protect. How Lord protects. The P stands for the personal protection. So sometimes he may protect personally. For example, in the Govardhan Leela, the Lord was personally lifted the mountain to protect all the Brajavasis. So sometimes he may come personally. The next is the more important, actually, more than the personal protection of the Lord, is the protection of through his representatives. Sakshat dharitvena samasta shastre ukta satatha bhavyete sadvi kintu prabhuya priyaiva tasya vande guru shri charnaravindam. The Guru is the manifestation of the Supreme Lord for our protection. Krishna comes. No, we're not saying Guru and Krishna are the same, but Guru is the walking and talking God. Guru is the representative of the Supreme Lord. So he may come through his representative, the R. Sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly, Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, Path Pradarshak Guru, Chaitya Guru. Sometimes even through a non-devotee, he may protect us, right? They're all Krishna's representatives. Vidura gave the hint to the Pandavas, hey, in the Lakshagraha, be careful. Like a rat, they are trying to burn you, but the rat goes underneath, builds a tunnel, and escapes when there's a fire. So through Guru, through well-wishers, through Suhrit, so devotees, representatives, Krishna will protect. Then the O. The O stands for the omnipresence. The Lord is omnipresent. He's present everywhere, so he can sometimes appear through a cloth. Karuna kar Draupadi pukari pat lipat gaye vanwari nirak rahe nar nari radhe sham sham sham. When Karuna kar, out of great mercy, great help, great, when her life was at stake, she called out, "Go Govinda, oh Govinda, please help me." The Lord came through the cloth. So sometimes the Lord can come through some things which we may not even perceive, right? It could be even inanimate object like a cloth, right? Then the T stands for the teachings. The Lord has specifically given these teachings, Prabhupada's Bhaktivedanta purports, the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavatam. Why? To protect us. What if imagine the life without Bhagavad Gita, the life without the manual will be waste. So the Gita, the Bhagavad are non-different from the Lord, right? So he may come through his teachings. Then the empowering. Sometimes he may empower us, right? To endure that situation, to accept that, gratefully accept that. Tatte nukampam susamikshamana bhanjani vatma kritam vipakam hridvag vaparbhi vidhan namaste jivetya mukti pade sadhaya bhak. Sometimes a parent, right? Most of you are parents. The child may fall, right? But you would want the child to get up yourself. Yes or yes? Rather than picking the child every time. Isn't it? Otherwise, how will the child learn to grow? Right? Anyone agrees to that? Sometimes we may feel, hey, I'm hurt, protect me. But if we always, of course, if something major, then yes, intervention is it. But if a small, let's say the child fell off the bike, it's a small thing and nothing major. But we want the child to get up. Rather than spoon feeding the child, get up, learn that life, you will fall. This is real. This is the real thing. You have to learn to endure. You have to learn to go through the ups and downs. So endurement, empowering, enablement, very, very important. All starts with E. And sometimes it could be the C or the combination of all. Yes, he could enable and empower us. At the same time, he could give some indirect hints through some representatives. At the same time, he could even arrange certain arrangements in our life through his omnipresence, through his teachings. Sometimes we are depressed or some going through a low phase. We open Bhagavad Gita and we get inspiration. We talk to some devotees, representatives, we get inspiration, and then we get the strength to endure. So Krishna is empowering. It could be combination of all, and at certain times it could be the T, which is the time. So we also need to have patience, right? Along with all this, we also need to have the patience. So I really like this aspect of Krishna's protection. So multiple stories are there in this regard, that how Krishna protects. So in short, one should have full faith that Krishna, if we render supreme bhakti unto the Supreme Lord through the process of Navadha Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, etc., He will always be there for us. If we take one step towards Him, He'll come 1,000 steps towards us. If we take 1,000 steps, He'll come 10 million steps towards us. So in short, in the path of Bhakti, there is no loss. He is always there. Shema. Shema refers to the merciful protection of the Lord. Yoga Shema Vahamya. The Lord always protects. He's always there. The Lord helps the devotee to achieve Krishna consciousness by yoga. And when he becomes fully Krishna conscious, the Lord protects him from falling down to a miserable. So we should also pray, Lord, please protect me so I don't fall down. Very, very important prayer. Okay, let's read the 23rd. Anyone? Yes, Shital Mataji, on today.
Hare Krishna. ये अपि अन्य देवता भक्ता यजान्ते श्रद्धया विनिताः ते अपि माम एव कौन्तेय यजान्ति अविधि पूर्वकम्. Translation: Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Let's read the 24 and 25 also, and we'll discuss all of these together. Ravi Bro, want to read? And then Rakesh can read the last one.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text number 24. Aham hi sarvayagyanam bhokta cha prabhurev cha na tu mam abhijananti tattva ventaschayan vatite. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down.
Krishna, thank you. And the last verse for today, and then we'll discuss all these together. Yes, Rakesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, text 25. Yanti deva vrata devan pitran yanti pitirvrata bhutane yanti bhuteya yanti mat yajinopi mam. Translation: Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. The text number 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, all these verses talk about the Prithak Vena. The 22 talks about the Ananya Bhakti, Ananya Shintayanto Mam, unto the Supreme Lord. But all the other verses are talking about those who are worshipping whom? The demigods. With no offense to any of the demigods, they are also the energies and the representatives of the Lord. But let's try to understand. We read 21 and 22, so 23. Ye api anya devata bhakta. Those who are anya devata. Anya refers to those who are not worshipping the Supreme Lord Krishna. And there are 33 crores, or it's like how many million? 330 million demigods and demigoddesses. We don't even know the names of 33, right? Anyone knows 33 demigods? Or maybe if someone knows 33, maybe 330. Impossible. Yajante shraddhayanvita tepi mameva konteya. So those, they are worshipping me only because ultimately the Supreme Lord is Krishna. But is that the right way? O son of Kunti, That's not the right way, because they're doing in a wrong way. The example is given in this connection. If we have to water the tree, where do we water the tree? In every leaf, 2 drops, this leaf, 2 drops, 2 drops, 5 drops, big leaf, 5 drops, small leaf, 1 drop. Do we water like this? Where do we water? We water the roots. When we water the roots, the system is designed that all the leaves and the twigs and the branches and the fruits and the flowers, every part will get watered. These are different limbs. There are different energies. There are different parts of that Supreme Lord. Similarly, when we are eating food, do we eat like samosa or gulab jamun by squeezing in our hand and eat through our hand like this? Anyone has special siddhi? And then the hand will absorb and then the hand will get energy, right? No. Or how about the legs? How about the knees? How about the head? Do we put food some here, some in the nose, eyes? We'll get more problems, I guess. So we put the food in the mouth, and through the medium of the mouth, it goes in the belly. And when the root is satisfied, all the hands, the legs, the eyes, the nose, all the body parts, all the tissues, muscles, they all get energized, right? This is the system. So there are multiple, these are analogies that when we serve the Supreme Lord, Yasmin Tushte, Jagat Tushte. When Krishna is happy, all the demigods are naturally happy. But vice versa is not true. So let's see some other, and we discussed multiple things. Let's discuss in this table. Okay. Demigod worship, the more focus is on rituals. But in the Supreme Lord, the focus is on essence, right? There are multiple examples. For example, the Vedas, there is a lot of focus on the mantras and tantras. But when we are talking about the Supreme Lord, it is said, mantratas tantratas chidram. The mantra could be impure, or we cannot properly pronounce. The tantras could be impure. Deshakala vastutaha. The time, place, situations. For chanting holy name, nothing, no time, place, situation matters. No mantra, tantra matters, right? No male, female matters. Though no young or old matters. Anyone and everyone can chant. This is Bhakti Yoga. This is a transcendental process. For doing certain rituals and karma khanda process, a lot of, niyam kanun is there, do's and don'ts. And it's very strict. It's very strict. The focus is on rituals. It's like you pay the price, you get the thing. You don't pay the price, you don't get the thing. But in Bhakti, Krishna sees the heart. Bhavagrahi Janardhan. Bhavagrahi. So that's a very, very important difference. Even if there are like a small child may call the father as Papa, or like Papa is the right word, but they may call Papi. Papi is totally opposite. Like Papi is very, very sinful. Or he may even call Puppy, which is like a dog, right? But the father will know he's calling me, right? Whether one says Papi or puppy, but the father knows, oh, my child is calling me. With the demigod worship, that does not work. So, and there are a lot of, what about the results? The results are temporary. One can get, we discuss like a vacation package. Vacation to Swargaloka, you will get nice Soma Jusa, you'll get to see Nandakaran gardens, there will be Apsaras dancing for you, there will be nice palaces for you. Anyone wants to go for that vacation package? Right? Everyone wants to go in the material world, right? Everyone wants to go. Of course, there's a price for that. The price is the punya, the mode of goodness activity. Urdhvam gachanti sattvasto. When we do sattva, we'll go up for the heavenly planets. Adho gachanti tamasa. When we do tamas, we do go down. But it's a small vacation package which will end after some time, right? When the pious quota is over, Shina Punya, Mrityuloka, and the cycle of birth and death will continue. But what about the destination, those who are worshipping Ananyas, Chintayanto Mam, Yajana Paryupasati? They will get back home, back to spiritual world. They don't have to suffer again in the cycle of birth and death. This is the ultimate result, not temporary result, not shreyas, but real prayas. And process we discussed, this is avidhi purvakam, not really recommended. But Krishna consciousness is the best process. Eko mantrastasya namaniya nikarmani ekam tasya devasya seva. Artho vatsa sudhir bhokta. The intelligent people take to this process, and we discuss some analogies as well, like pouring water on leaves, pouring water on root, feeding eyes, ears separately, feeding the belly. So there are multiple aspects which we are just covering from Bhagavad Gita to help us that that does not mean that we should be disrespectful to any of the demigods. Of course, they are devotees, right? And if we are disrespectful to devotees, then it's an aparadh. But at the same time, just think about if we are saying Hanumanji, oh Hanumanji, you are the best, or you are everything, you are the greatest, you are even, Lord Ram is nothing in front of you, even, so we ignore Lord Ram and worship Hanuman. Will Hanumanji be happy? No, never, right? A true servant will never be happy if we ignore their master. And a true master will never be happy if we ignore their servant. Isn't it? Right? That's the reciprocal relationship between the Lord and the devotees. The devotees will never be happy if we take Krishna out of the picture. And Krishna will never be happy if we take devotees out of the picture. Mad Bhakta Pujya Adhika. Devotee always connects us to Krishna, and Krishna always connects us to devotees. We were talking about this. Devotee is waiting for the Supreme Lord, and the Lord is waiting for his devotees. We were discussing the story in recently. I was hearing the class by Radhanath Maharaj. So Pundalik was a devotee in Pandharpur, very, very nice devotee. And he had to go for some pilgrimage, holy place. His parents were also devotees. And as he was going, to the pilgrimage, he realized, what am I doing? One who is self-reflective, Krishna will give him the right knowledge. Dami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti. I'm going to the holy place, but my parents are not, they are very sick. They are devotees. Will Lord be happy with me if I go to holy place and leave my sickly parents at home, and who will take care of them? And they're also great Vaishnavas. So he changed his mind. He came back and was worshipping. Worshipping means serving his parents, taking care of their needs, cooking, etc., whatever was required. And guess what? Lord, the Lord came. The Supreme Lord Vishnu came and knocked at the door of Pundalik. And Pundalik said, and the Lord said, hey, it's the Supreme Lord Vishnu here. Can you please open the door? Can you? He said, I would love to take care of you, but I'm right now serving my parents. Can you please wait for some time? And by the way, it's my duty to give you something. So here is a brick. Listen, man, this is a brick. You please stand on this brick as asana. Eat. Eat in India, say eat or brick. And I think, what do we say in Marathi? The brick?
Wheat.
Wheat?
Wheat. Huh?
Wheat. Wheat. Okay. I was looking for that word. Okay. So I was thinking it must be something in that connection. Wheat. Or in India, in North India, they say eat. So kind of same thing. So the Lord was standing and waiting. And the devotee is serving other devotees. His parents, in short. The Lord kept waiting. And sometimes, have you experienced this? Have you experienced this? Sometimes you're waiting. And then you're whole, oh my God, when are you coming? Right? So the Lord, if you go, he's holding his hands are near his waist. when are you coming? I'm waiting for you. So that brick, the Lord waited for his devotee. The Lord was so happy to see the devotee serving other devotees, then the Lord comes to see that devotee. It's a very nice and very deep lesson. Those who are serving the devotees of the Lord, Krishna will come to see them. Rather than trying to see God, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, try to serve God, or try to serve Vaishnavas so that the Lord wants to see you. Right? The Lord came, and as Radhanath Maharaj mentioned, that this brick represents the enthusiasm of devotee to serve other Vaishnavas. This is real bhakti. Now, this is the Lord waiting for his devotee, and therefore his name is Vittalanath. He was waiting on the brick. Vittala, 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 Jai Jai Panduranga, Vittala, Jai Jai Panduranga, Vittala. And it is a very nice movie of Tukaram Maharaj. Very nice bhajans are there. So now I'll share a story about the devotee waiting for the Lord. In Govardhan Parikrama, for those who have been, Puncharika Lota Baba temple comes at the very tail of Govardhan. Govardhan is like a peacock, and the tail of Govardhan, or like where it ends, there is a sharp turn, and right at that turn, in almost like 40% of the Parikrama mark, comes a wonderful temple of Puncharika Lota Baba. Lota Baba, Lota, Lota, Lota means return. So his friend was told that Krishna told his friend Lota Baba, I'll come. So this Lota Baba is still waiting for the Supreme Lord, because Lord, when he went to Mathura, he told, I'll come. So this is the beauty, that the Lord waits for his devotee, the devotee waits for the Lord. The Lord wants to serve his devotee, the devotee wants to serve the Lord. The Lord wants to protect his devotee, the devotee wants to protect the Lord. The Lord wants to feed the devotee wants to feed the Lord. This is the beauty of the Lord. The Lord is in the heart of the devotee. And Krishna says, in my heart, the Supreme, the devotees are there, and devotee says, in my heart, Krishna is there. This is the wonderful dynamics. I don't know how I reached. And then the one devotee comments that the Lota Baba, if you go there, he's very healthy. He's very, healthy person. He's saying that, see, he has not eaten anything, still waiting, but look at his health, not gone down, because he is getting the juice of the real Vipralamba of the Supreme Lord. The juice of separation, the juice of constantly thinking of Krishna. When Parikshit Maharaj was hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, how was he getting the nourishment? He was not eating, sleeping. There was a conversation at the very beginning of the 10th canto that he was so spiritually nourished, right? If we don't sleep for like a day, we feel so exhausted and headache and whatnot. If we don't eat for a day, we feel something. But Parikshit Maharaj not ate anything, didn't sleep, didn't anything. He was sitting and hearing, because he was nourishing. He was spiritually through the juice of Krishna consciousness. So this is the wonderful Leela of the Supreme Lord. So in short, to sum up this context which we read today, we discuss about the Prithak Vena, the demigod worshippers, and we discuss some differences between worshipping demigods versus the Supreme Lord. And then we also discuss about the Vishvarupa Upasana, those who worship Lord in every energy, like the mountain, like the river, like the everything. But the highest is Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. The Lord will protect, and then we discuss wonderful pastimes in those connection, how Lord protects his devotees. Yoga Shrimam Mahamyam. So thank you for giving this wonderful chance and to read together Bhagavad Gita. So I'll pause here and we can take maybe one or two questions, comments, thoughts, corrections. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone. So yes, anyone wants to say anything? I don't know if your hands are raised for the reading or for asking something or telling. Please unmute and speak if you want to tell something or share. Yes, Rashmi Mataji wanted to say something? Yeah.
No, very beautiful. Thank you very much. As always, enjoyed and learned so many nice things from you. Thank you very much.
A puppet just repeats, or puppet, the microphone just repeats. So we are just the via medium. All these are the words of Guru Sadhu Shastra. We're just repeating. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you. Yes, Rakesh Prabhu, you had something on your mind?
No questions, Prabhu. I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Ravi Prabhu wanted to say something.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes. Yeah, this question was coming in my head, Prabhuji, since a couple of days, and I thought this is probably the right time because you just mentioned. This is like, see, when Dhruva Maharaj had that question, and when he wanted to become like better than his dad, then he was seeking the answer. The Narad Muni gave him the advice and told him to go to the, like one and then do the tapasya austerity. So that was like, I don't know, that was a Satyug, maybe, okay. But now in the Kali Yuga, we say to say the Harinam, you don't require any place, no time. You can just chant anywhere. So is it the concession because of the Kali Yuga, or we don't have that much austere body or the intelligence, or is it? So I was just thinking in this, what do you have? What comment you can give me, Prabhuji?
No, it's a very good question. Yes, in Kali Yuga, there is no prerequisites. But at the same time, that does not mean that we the place will have an impact. Certainly the place will have an impact, the consciousness will have an impact, everything will have an impact. When we say that the chanting of the holy name does not need any prerequisites, we can even chant in the bathroom, that does not mean that we always take our mala in the bathroom and make bathroom as our meditation center, right? This is just to share how great are the holy name, that even it can be done in the bathroom, it will not have any negative impact, it will only have a positive impact. One can chant in the mall also with a lot of music going on, a lot of, but what is the best? The best is to chant at a nice place with spiritual environment in the Brahma Muhurta hours, right? In the morning time. So we see why is it recommended in the Shastras to chant in the morning time if time is not a factor, right? It is certainly recommended. It's not discounting or saying that those who are not chanting in those time are wrong or bad, but those who want to take the maximum advantage of this process, those who are intelligent, they will see, okay, the essence is that it can be done even that time. It can be done in the night 12 a.m. 12 a.m. also, or night like 11 p.m. also. It can be done. That's fine. It can be done in a taxi. It can be done in a train. It can be done in a bus. But that does not mean that we make that as our what is called like bhajan sthali. When we go to Vrindavan, we see, oh, this is Rupa Goswami Bhajan Sthali. This is Sanatan Goswami Bhajan Sthali. This is Narottam Das Thakur. They used to do bhajan there. So there is a lot of power in the place. That place becomes Siddha. So this is to understand that holy name is so powerful that even a person eating, the worst of the food in the world can still chant. But what is the ultimate goal? Ultimate goal is to lead to purification. So ultimately one can come to the best standards of chanting the holy name in the association of devotees in a good environment. And occasionally the bonus rounds, we can always chant. Wherever we are, we can always remember Krishna. In the bathroom, we can chant. In the bus, we can chant. But those should be like the extra, like the bonus. So does that help?
Yes, Prabhuji, yeah. So yeah, what I understand that, yes, the discount is given just to get started, but once the buddhi and intelligence starts to come and you start to get purified more and more, then focus should be like best time, best place, best situation.
Certainly.
And if nobody has any other question, if you have 2 minutes, I have other question that is coming in my head for last few days. If nobody has any other question, then I can ask. Otherwise, I'll ask you later.
Okay, let's ask anyone else. And you raise your hand, please. Aparna Mataji, you have a question? You have raised your hand.
I was hearing this discussion that you should be in a place and remember God, but it becomes one becomes the sombersome attitude is dissolved when you get associated with people, those who feel to go in one destination or to gain Krishna consciousness. Don't you feel that?
Can you
I
can you
said
please
that
repeat?
it becomes very
Easy.
somber.
Okay.
Very somber. That is maybe if we sit in an isolated place and chant God's name, but if we get ourselves associated with people, those who have one goal, that is to
Sure.
gain Krishna consciousness, we feel elevated and we receive or we achieve our destination.
Yeah, so it becomes easy in association of devotees who have one goal. That's, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why
What
we are
I
all here.
feel.
Absolutely. This is certainly aligned with the Holy Spirit. And this is the must. And that's true for anything in the life. If we are with people who want a lot of money, like business tycoons, and their whole objective is to get money, then we will develop those qualities. If we are with people who love art, they're talking about art, they're talking about drawing, painting all the time, they're sharing each other's work, we'll grow better in that. Same about anything in life. Why do people go to gym? To get association of those people. Why do people to library? There's a right environment to study there. So if the environment certainly has an impact, the consciousness, the goal, the objective of the people will have an impact. Therefore, sadhu sanga, sarva shastra koi, lava matra sadhu sang, sarva siddhi hoy. So absolutely. Therefore, it is the most, Bhakti's ABCD begins with A of association. Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Vistara Kapai Chekeva. It can be also true for Sadhu Sangha. One who, Chadiya Vaishnava Sangha Nistar Pai Chekeva. If one gives up the Vaishnava Sangha, there is no hope for that person.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice comment. Yes, Ravi. Anita Mataji has a comment. Yes, please.
So on the association, Prabhuji, I just want to share one realization from Vinita. I know she will not. So we had a Kahoot last time in our class here, the Jackson community. So she could not come like within part of 5. She usually comes like, either 1, 2, 3, like she will be there. So I asked her, what happened this time? So she was like, I studied the same way I did earlier classes. But this time, I think I did not get the Sadhu Sangha because we had missed the few classes of every weekly class. So because of the Sadhu Sangha, I think I could not do that. And I was like, oh, wow. Like I got very happy that, she's really getting the essence of what we are trying to teach the kids. I just want to share that.
Thank you. That's an excellent realization. Prabhupada said, if one thinks one can practice bhakti without association of devotees, that's hallucination. It's hallucination. You cannot. Ekaki amar nahi paya bala. Alone I have no strength. This is the mood of a devotee. The great souls, the great Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur are speaking this. What to speak of ordinary people like us, myself, sorry. You're all extraordinary devotees. I am a very ordinary. Therefore, I need all of yours wonderful devotional association. Krishna Bhakti Moola hoya, Krishna Bhakti Janma hoya sadhu sangha. Krishna Bhakti ka janma sadhu sangha. Krishna Prema Janma tina puna mukhyanga. Again, to develop Krishna Prema, the mukhya anga is sadhu sangha only. So we have to awaken. The Bhakti Janma may happen. Okay, I know how to chant. I know how to read Gita. Okay, I'm done. I don't need. No, the next line says, if you want to awaken, so the real Krishna Prema, the mukhya anga is sadhu sangha. If Bharat Maharaj would have sadhu sangha in the ashram, his deer would have not, caused havoc in his life and made him the deer, because devotees would have told, Baba, you came here for spiritual life. You're getting attached to the deer and forgotten your bhakti. Did you come for to take care of the deer here? Right? You come for advancing further in your journey. Right? So sadhu sangha, very helpful. Yes, Ravi Prabhu. Thank you, Vinita Machi, for sharing that excellent realization.
Should I ask Prabhuji now, or is it
Yeah,
my
you
turn?
can. If
Okay.
devotees have to drop, you have to take care of your, dogs or cats or anyone else, your family members, or mow the lawn, something. Please, you can sign off. We don't want to put any kind of pressure, but yeah, we can take the question. Those who want to
Yes,
stay here.
Prabhuji, the question is like, I'll try to be very specific. Like, I don't know if I can. We always say we have taken millions of billions of births, right? And then now all those karmas that we have, there is sanchay, it's called sanchay karma, right? All that we do, it's kind of imprinted on our soul. Let's put it in a scientific, yeah. So, but my question that was coming to my head was like, only the human form, when we take the Manushya roop, then only whatever the action we do, it has a reaction. Other than that, if we take any other form, like any other yoni, then to my understanding, I may be wrong, then whatever actions are done in different yonis is not being imprinted on your soul. It just, it is like you're basically spending the time. So when we say we have taken so many births and now we have so much accrued karma on us and we have to clarify, clear all that. So is that, the question is that like we have taken so many million of human form before, or then we have accrued the karma, or we have just, way of explaining things that we have so much of karmas on our soul and the only Harinam can clear this up, because it's like a weed killer. The Harinam is like a fire, and once we keep chanting the name of Hari, the seed that we have that is going to regerminate all the time because of our karma will get, like it will get fired up and it will never regerminate. So did I make my question clear to you, Prabhu?
Yes, I think so. I think the question is that the first part is the Manushya Yoni is called Karma Yoni and the others are called Bhoga Yoni. Bhoga means they receive the reactions of the previous activity. But we have to be careful here, because when we say Manushya or humans, we have discussed there are different types of human species, or there are 400,000. And we discussed this rarity of a purity amongst the 400,000 human species, how they are distributed, right? We discussed this in the previous session. So rarity of a pure devotee is very, very rare who want to take to Krishna consciousness right now. But the point here is that out of the millions of, even in the human species, there are like 400,000 different based on the consciousness level. So yes, we may have taken not just millions of human species, we may have taken even zillions of that, infinite, right? Because there is no point we can trace it back. And it's not even worth to even try to trace it back, because the scripture says Gahana Karmana Gati. Is it because of the 1 millionth life back? Or is it because of the last life? Or is it because yesterday's? Or is it because of 10 years back? It's impossible for us to trace back. So the short answer is yes, we may have taken many, many species, which includes humans, 400,000 species, Indra, Chandra, Varna, it could be Indra Loka, right? It could be in the Patal Loka. It could be in human species in those planets, right? In the demoniac species, in the Anaryas, right? And we could be in other 8 million species as well. The 400,000 is the humans. So yes, so when we do bhakti, yes, everything based on how sincerely one is doing bhakti, all the different types of karmas are uprooted, And devotees give it an example like an Amazon order. Okay, Amazon order, the first place is the desire, right? Okay, I want maybe a product from Amazon, let's say a lamp. Okay, we'll give the example of a lamp, a desire. We have not even placed the order, desire. We're doing some reading. I want a lamp. I want a lamp for reading. Okay, nice desire. Then what happens? Then place the order and do the process. Place the order has been placed, and then it could be in different stages. Now, okay, it's shipped, it's en route, and it could be on the door, right? There are multiple stages the order could be. Similarly, our karma could be in multiple stages. What we are receiving right now, what we will receive today, what we are receiving, which is in the seed state. It is not yet fructified. It will maybe fructify after 10 years. But there are multiple verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam and of course in Gita as well, that all those different stages of karma, the past cycle of action reaction, can be destroyed when one sincerely renders Krishna, take shelter of the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. And I'm going to prove it with Giri Parasar Api Papa Chaura Graganyam Chaura Raje Prasidam verse. Who knows this bhajan? Raje Prasidam. Anyone knows? To open this, so Raje Prasidam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's Chauragra Ganyam Purusham Namami, Raje Prasiddham.
Very nice. Yeah, let's see this point. Chinatsi Goram Yamapasha Bandham. Okay, this is it. Chinatsi Sarvasya. Yeah, here, this line. Yadiya namapi harati ashesham giri prasaran api paparashim ascharya rupo nanu chaura idrik drishta shrutova namaya kadapi. So let's see the translation. Mere utterance of the name of the Supreme Lord purges one of mountains of sin. Giri parasan api paparashim. Any kinds of papa we may have done in any stages, it will be purged, it will be cleared when one chants the name of the beautiful thief, who is the foremost among the thieves. Anyone has heard about that thief before? No. So this is Bilamanga Thakur's. So there are a lot of other such verses which talk about the same point. Yes, it is certainly doable. We can clear based on how sincerely. Does it answer? Was it your question or off track?
No, Prabhuji, very well. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like I was thinking, but yes, this is the only one. There's no need to even spend time. It's the same thing. If just what I can do now is just to chant and then get rid of this, all the reactions and all the imprints stamped on consciousness. So yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Very well. Yeah.
Dharman paritejya mamekam sharanam vrajam tvam sarva papebhyo. Again, there.
Yes.
Do not fear. Ma shuchaha. Krishna's first word and the last teaching and the first teaching of Bhagavad Gita begins with this. Ma shucha. Do not fear. Do not lament. And in the end also he says, do not lament. So very nice. Okay, so I think we're a little over time already. So we want to kind of take more time. So we'll pause here. Thank you again for all your wonderful association. Bhagavad Gita Upanishad ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktivinda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Yucha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Namo Namaha.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.